I'm safely in the roundabout, and I'll get set up and explain exactly what's going on. I've been doing my trip across the country, and I stopped at a last night. Now, I looked out the window, and I saw this roundabout. And I looked a little further, there's a Cabela's, there's a Princess Auto, there's a Canadian Tire Stadium, and there's a perfect roundabout. So, I checked out this morning and decided to stay another night in the roundabout this time. Basic setup for tonight. This air mattress right on the ground. It's beautiful here. There's these soft needles. I swear, this is a trap. Like when I saw everything so perfect here, it seems like a honeypot sting to catch me in the act. So there's this stove to cook with, butane one. There's this little stool. Sold it at the beer store. So that packs up awesome, super sturdy, better than that little folding tripod chair I have. Got this little GSI Pinnacle stove thing to cook on tonight. And that's about it. It's a pretty simple, basic night here. And let's relax a little. Believe it or not, the name of the street I'm on is called Campo Drive. I think it's French, but the word camp is in there. Makes it seem even more suspicious, like this is a Truman Show thing where I'm going to get busted. It was just left out to tempt me. But I'll show you a few nice things with this roundabout. And this roundabout has these big concrete barriers all the way around it and big rocks over in other spots. Now, it's very rare that people wouldn't know how to use a roundabout, but in the case they didn't know how to use it, and went right through, I would be perfectly safe back here, depending on their speed. When I checked into that hotel yesterday, they didn't ask for a license plate number, so I figured my car is safe there overnight without getting towed. And, I just kind of wait out the rush hour traffic. I'm not in a city park, so I don't have to worry about park rangers. Nobody wants that ranger danger. I just have to worry about police, which I did see one earlier, and by law enforcement type of thing. I think I'll be fine as long as I stay in this roundabout. I am going to get out of this roundabout when the sun goes down because that hotel has a bar, and that'll solve my step 2 issues. I'm not going to go so far as to abuse the free breakfast in the morning, because that's just in bad taste. But if I'm paying for a beverage, I don't see a problem there. It's about an hour until sunset, so I'm in here until then at least. I don't know what the light's going to be like in here. There are some street lights, but I don't know if they'll light it up well enough to see in here. I don't want to use the flashlight. Just a block away, there's a McDonald's with a lobby that's open until 10. So that solves the washroom situation. They're open again at 6 or 7 in the morning. So if I have to drop it like it's hot, I'll just run across the road there, and I can even grab breakfast while I'm at it. What I didn't mention is that there are crosswalks that go kind of around the perimeter. They don't go right up against this roundabout, but people will hear me if I'm being loud. Obviously, a very boring aspect of self-camping is sitting around with water. But it's not step 2 time quite yet. I'm still on my vitamin kick like I mentioned in the last video. I've been doing that since basically July. I've taken brothers with me tonight. So I'll go through every pill I'm taking because they're making me feel pretty good lately. It takes a long time to correct the vitamin deficiency though, especially B12. Looks like I'm going to have some ladybugs in here to keep me company tonight. As long as they're not stink bugs, they look kind of similar, and we don't want that issue to happen. I hate being landed on by things. And of course, this is a bus route too, so there's people waiting for the bus. Just got to keep it on the down low. Fight the urge, Steve. Don't walk out there. It's a big office tower on this side. Seems to be a computer company. I called them earlier to see when their office hours are until 5. So I think we're in the good now. Just probably a janitor in there sweeping up, cleaning the place up, make it look nice. And all these windows, they're going to be looking out of their offices at me crawling out of here in the morning. But they won't see me at night. There's like no problem here. Like it's so, the branches are so thick. Like this will be a noisy sleep. Yes, I know I've done a roundabout before, and I normally like to just do an idea at once. Except this one was right by last night's hotel, and it's just so perfect. I had to do it. I was here, I had the gear, and that's what it's all about. Taking your opportunities while you can and stealthing it up. More people accumulating at that bus stop, so the bus should be along soon. And a piece of fuzz on me. I think that's a wish. There's got to be a UPS depot around here or something, because there's been about 30 of these UPS trucks going by. As usual, I don't want to get everything set up until a little bit later, but there's one of these self-inflating air mattress pads. I will get that self-inflating. It always needs a little help at the end, but we'll get it going. I'm really excited to go to that hotel lounge. Another UPS truck. They just don't stop. UPS depot is a quarter mile away, half a kilometer, so that'll be going on in the morning first thing for sure. It is total pedestrian hour here. There's been a couple of them. I think one of them's loitering. What is it with people slingshotting around a roundabout in a sports car? The sun is set, and there's about a half an hour left at twilight. Then it'll be dark, and I can sneak over to that hotel lounge, have step 2, and I gotta get back here, have some dinner. I got stuff to cook, get it all set up, and we're gonna hunker down. There's only one really good way out of this roundabout, because there's so many boulders and barriers all over. It's kind of on this side facing that office building. Somebody's just driving by right there, and out through there. So he didn't see. So that's where I got to get out of here from. And it's kind of hard to see where the traffic is coming from on the other side. Like there's a roundabout, right? There's 4 roads all coming at it, and I can only see one tiny little spot at a time. So it's pretty much going to be a Hail Mary type of thing where I listen for traffic and then dart out after looking both ways across the road. This roundabout is bigger than the one I camped in last time, but there's less trees and it's way busier. It's got these conspicuous slip lanes and an inner circle. I'll show it on the map. It's a little more involved than the other roundabout I camped in, and it's posing an issue for me trying to get out of here at a reasonable hour, and I'm getting thirsty. I want to go into that hotel. it's not just the police and bylaw I got to worry about. Because security guards, too. This is a business park. It's crawling with businesses. And they hire their security. They all team in together, guaranteed. They got them driving around like crazy. And there's buildings being constructed as well. And that's where everybody steals their stuff for build their tree houses and soapbox derbies. If kids still do that. So they're on the lookout. And I don't know when this rush hour ends, but I sure hope soon.
Want a last-minute getaway calls? Answer it. Book last-minute deals on thousands of stays with Verbo. Sometimes it takes a different approach to see the possibilities all around you. At Capella University, you'll learn in-demand business skills relevant to the career you want. Reality check. Keep summer going with the Nissan Rogue and Nissan Pathfinder. Nissan named #1 in new vehicle quality by J.D. Power. Hurry in today.
Mom, I'm hungry.
Growl, growl. We haven't eaten in like an hour. Oh boy, Hot Pockets. So cheesy. Wait, come on. Thank you. Hot Pockets.
The streetlights have come on and they're shedding a lot of light on the subject. And the subject is me. The good news is... the good news is I'm not going to have to use my flashlight to cook tonight. So stealth-wise, we got this locked up. This is all right. It's calming down a little bit, so I'm going to see about crawling out of here. And just do a walk around all the crosswalks and go from there. Okay. Let's go. All right, now we go. Out here, going for a walk. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. Basically, from out here, this is what it looks like. Very well lit. And that actually does make it harder to see kind of into the woods. All right, so that's going to be home for the night. Okay, so that lounge was pretty good. They sold me a little to go, which is all right. I'm just kind of casually waiting for the traffic. Okay, let's go. Here we go. I think I'll be good. And, okay, let's run. Now we're talking. So my roundabout is pretty secluded right now. Tonight in the roundabout, gonna make some pad thai from a kit from the grocery store. rice noodles are all cooked. All it requires is a healthy dose of the sauce that comes with the kit. Some chicken in there. Bean sprouts. Well, they're even good on their own. In theory. And the kit comes with these dried peanuts. I guess they're normally dried already. Spices, etc. Get a little lime in there. Let's see. This is good roundabout pad thai. Nice and calm out here. Just about ready for bed. But one thing's first. The vitamins, like I talked about before. So, what do I have to do every night? Try not to lose any. But I start with a couple of gummy vitamins. Next on the docket, magnesium. Take magnesium pill. Can't do a magnesium pill unless you chase it with zinc. B1. Gonna take that. Basically, I got a B12 here. It goes under the tongue, sublingual. I have a melatonin slow release. It is certainly quiet out here. These rocks here give me very, very good reassurance. Not that I need it. Everyone I've ever seen using a roundabout has done it properly. In the entire time I've seen people using roundabouts. But I'm gonna get bed set up, and a beautiful spot. Absolutely beautiful. All roundabouts should be planted with trees like this. This thing packs up so light, and it's a down slash synthetic hybrid. That sounds good. Whip this out. Oh, that was a security guard for sure. Can have a fine sleep tonight. Now is the time to hunker down. Long drive tomorrow, but it was good to have another night here in beautiful Greater Ottawa. I'm gonna tuck in here. It's that time of year where I get to use my jacket for a pillow. Morning, guys. I'm gonna pack up. It looks like they're starting some road construction, literally right outside of here. Of course, can't get a decent sleep in these roundabouts without crews coming in the morning. But yeah, I don't want to linger here. They're setting up their pylons. I still can't really sleep on this one side from my shoulder. Well, I haven't been able for months, but I'm just starting to be able to at least lay on it for a little bit. It's my favorite side to sleep on too, so it's inconvenient. I'll figure out how it works better. It's all packed up. Okay, so quick scan reveals nothing left behind here. Not for me. I picked up a few scraps here and there. And as always, try to leave it better than when I showed up. And now, with the fancy work of getting out of here. Okay, well, let's do it. Yeah, there's major pylons and construction workers over there working on something. All right, that was an okay sleep until all this stuff started in the morning. And it happened on the last roundabout too. Actually, I got away from the last roundabout and I drove past like an hour later and they were picking weeds all around it inside that roundabout. So that was crazy. But I'm gonna start the long drive to all the way through Quebec basically today. Got to get into New Brunswick. So what a little store. This little town here, this Canada place, is just what the doctor ordered in the stealth department. A few other spots around here that are quite good. But yeah, I was hoping to get a little more sleep. However, it's a long drive, and of course it is. Oh, tell me I didn't leave my phone in there. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so 7:30 in the morning. So yeah, I was hoping to at least sleep until 8. But yeah, the construction workers are hard at work. The honest folks of the world making it a better place. And of course, police drive by, like right as I'm filming. But okay, I'm gonna get in my car and get out of this awesome little stealthy town. Thank you everybody for watching, and please stay tuned. I got a couple more cool ideas, so I'll just keep grasping at straws here. Cheers, everybody. See you next time.
Another ad agency, another gimmick.
Oh, is this mascot heaven?
Not quite. Basement storage at NJM. NJM is proud to put policyholders first, so they don't need mascots like us.
So I'm the elephant in the room. Forget this, forget this. Oh, is this mascot heaven?
Oh boy. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Give me that too.
See how this meal works out. Got these vacuum flask thermoses. Because I'm outside of a fire hall, I'm not going to cook a meal with an open flame. Every single time I do, the stove catches on fire, something explodes, and I go running for dear life. And we can't have that happening right beside the fire hall. That's inappropriate and disrespectful. So I warmed up some shaved deli beef and some au jus earlier. I don't think this is a park people usually cook in. See if it's still warm. Things could be delicious. It's highly possible. Well, this is lukewarm, so it could be worse. This one with the au jus in it. Still steaming. Okay, good. Yeah, now this is a good sandwich. Why have I never used thermoses before? This is a game changer. To cut down on the gear, I'm not bringing a sleeping pad. Soft enough here, that's easy. But this thing should be good for 20 Fahrenheit or -7 Celsius. We'll see. This is like a prime example of why you shouldn't leave these things crushed up in a bag all the time. Because you really have to poof them back up again. Like there's spots in here where there's no loft at all. And it's hopefully going to work for me. Turn off this light and I'll flop this around enough to hopefully make it come back to life. All right, I'm getting a bit cold. I'm going to crawl in here and try to flop around that sleeping bag because I think it's wrecked from being probably put away a little bit wet or moist and crushed down to nothing because it is basically like lumpy all over. We'll see. Thankfully, despite the fact the sleeping bag is a little iffy, I'm in a tent and it's much warmer in here. The ground is soft. Gonna keep a close ear out for any other issues that can arise through the night. But I'm gonna set up in here. See you guys in the morning. Morning. I didn't hear anything else of that fireball last night, so it was pretty quiet, aside from all the raging traffic going right by, and the airplanes taking off and landing because there's an airport not far. But we're gonna get out of here. At the very least, start packing some stuff up. This crazy little sleeping bag. For the life of me, I don't know what happened here, but it's been pretty good in the past, and now it's all just these random bunches. Like, I guess if I work at it a little bit and fluff it up, it might be salvageable. But that was not the type of a surprise I wanted, to find it's all messed up. Yeah. Ooh. According to the forecast, the rumor was that it was going to be raining pretty hard this morning. It's misty, that's for sure, but not a drop on any of this stuff, so it's great news. Nothing worse than packing up a tent soaking wet. Found another one of these little dollar store chairs, and yeah, this thing must have cost $2, and it's fallen apart a little, but for the $2, I can't believe how well these work, as long as you don't sit down full force on them. Yeah, last week all the fire departments around here did like a little food drive thing, and they put a firefighting boot on the table, and everybody put some money into it. They give that to the food bank. They raised over $100,000 for that. So I saw that in the news today. But they gave me one of these handy little things. When I made my donation to the boot, and it comes in handy for camping. It's not stealthy at all under any circumstances, but it's good information to have about fire, smoke alarms and stuff. Just as when I found it. Not a stitch of garbage anywhere. I combed over this place pretty thoroughly, and I'm impressed. Not a wrapper, not a gum wrapper, not an empty can, nothing. So this is a really refreshing thing to see in the woods beside a busy road. And speaking of that, yes, this road is still definitely quite busy. But after I've already committed the crime, I'm not worried about anybody spotting me on the way out of here. I just have to grab my sunglasses and my hat that I stashed under the tree, and let's get back to the car and pray it's still there. I don't think there would be a problem. It didn't look like a no parking spot, but I didn't see anybody else parked there. So let's see if there's a ticket on the window or something, but I think I'll be okay. Just like that, I'm out of the woods. Well, it didn't get towed away, so that's a good thing. It's like, it looks like it was supposed to be a bike lane or something. Like, it doesn't look like a normal parking spot. The sidewalk turns right into this, and nobody else is parked here, but there's no signs that say I can't. Just felt weird being the only one parked on such a long stretch. Anyway, car looks okay. Time to get out of here. Not even a ticket on the windshield. How about that? Thanks everybody for following this week's adventure in the woods behind a fire hall. As always, if you can handle this type of stuff, please consider subscribing. It does help. And on the same note, if you are subscribed and this is no longer your jam, I take no offense if you unsubscribe. It goes both ways, of course. So I'm going to keep on looking for these spots and doing other types of projects. If you know of any good stealth camping spots out here on the West Coast, please send them my way, and I'll definitely make it worth your while and give you some shout outs here, because I used to spend a very much smaller portion of my time trying to find stealth camping spots. And those were back in the days before the roundabout and stuff, where, literally just beside a hiking trail was incredible content. And now the game's been upped so much that I spend most of my time actually searching on Street View and Google Maps and driving around to find spots. So the rules of the game are they can't be full-blown trespassing. Um, I can't have permission to do it, and it's got to be safe. So there's like the three kind of rules, and that narrows things down quite a bit. But I will keep searching and gonna mix things up with I have a couple of other stealthy spots, so I'll mix that up with some more interesting shelters, that type of stuff, and just adventure in general, because just got to keep on driving until somewhere feels like home. So thanks for following along on the journey, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Lowe's knows that as life changes, so do your priorities. Painting the town red takes on a whole new meaning. Powering through now takes power tools. The need for great lighting is actually the same, but the weeknight dance floors look a bit different. And with the quality and affordable Lowe's brands, we'll help make sure you don't have to compromise to keep living it up the way you want to. Get more from our brands for less, only at Lowe's. We help you save.
Don't miss the Toyota National Sales Event going on now at Barrel Toyota, and get Barrel Toyota employee pricing on any new Tacoma in stock. Choose from our great selection of brand new Tacomas and pay what a Barrel Toyota employee would pay. Lease a new loaded 25 Tacoma Limited 4x4 for just $243 a month for 36 months. And the third year is on us. An extra year of Toyota Care is included with any new Barrel Toyota Tacoma. Barrel Toyota, driven to be better.
Hi guys, welcome to Camping with Steve. Challenging myself to camp with as many cleaning supplies as possible today. So I've got an assortment of stuff I'll go over here in a bit. But beautiful spot out here by the creek. It's going to be cold tonight. It will be below freezing. So gonna get the shelter set up nice and quick. I'll go over all the stuff I brought. In my bag of tricks, a little waste bin for sitting on. Candle. Another stainless steel waste bin I can use to hopefully cook on. There's a fire pit, but we're going to try to keep it as authentic and cleaning as possible. Steel wool, all-purpose clothesline. That means all-purpose as in camping. Fly swatters, mops, paper towel, bunch of stuff. But I got to get a tent set up. It's already getting a little chilly. Sun goes down in about 3.5 hours, so I got some time to get this set up and gather some firewood. But I'm gonna try to make a tent out of garbage bags, and I could probably make a little ground sheet or a thermarest type thing by putting in leaves into some garbage bags as well. So get some heavy duty ones. They should do the job. All-purpose clothesline. Now, I was filming this same idea a couple of days ago, and I was trying to make a hammock, but that'll take a little more skill than I have. I know some people definitely have made hammocks out of garbage bags, but didn't work for me. Fell down, got a little scratch on me somewhere, but yeah, that was fun. So going with the foolproof method today. Gonna borrow a rock from the river here. This will work for a tent peg. Got an all-purpose mop, so that means tent pole, and just like that, anchored down to the rock on the other side, and I'll just build a little tent around it. I'm going to do 2 rocks out on an angle. I know I could have attached it to that other tree, but I don't want to get clotheslined. One of the downsides to using clothesline for this stuff is it stretches, which led to tragic outcomes for that hammock. Unless you're a spectator, then it was hilarious. Not bad, not bad. It's going to be a little cold, so I'm keeping this thing double layer. So it'll be like a 3-season tent. I'm going to put a few of these on for now. Try to tape them together. Clothespins are aesthetically pleasing, but they're not the strongest knife in the drawer. So some packing tape on this situation will make things weather resistant, windproof, IP67 rated. Things are nicely taped up. I'm just going to do a sideways panel on each side. It should just take a couple of bags sideways, and this palace will be ready for action. So a few little river rocks on the edge here. Work like tent pegs. I couldn't think of anything cleaning related that could be a tent peg, so here we are. Home, sweet home. And there you have it. For the low, low price of your dignity, you can save a few dollars on a tent that is of adequate structure. So I'm going to fill some garbage bags with leaves for a little sleeping pad so I'm not right on the ground. And just provided some extra insulation because the R value of a sheet of plastic is like -2. So we'll get this all filled up, gather some firewood, and start a nice little fire here by me. After a few handfuls, this is all full of sticks and twigs and probably ticks. So I'm just going to crumple up some paper towel and put her in here. That'll be a fine sleeping pad for me. Yeah, that works. Should stay dry. I'll probably grab a couple more rocks and stick them around the edge because the rocks and the tape are doing a lot of the heavy lifting for this setup. A few other fire pits around here, so people do come down here. Nobody tonight because it's fairly cold. But it's probably also picked pretty clean of firewood. But a little bridge over there, wander across, see what we can find. Definitely a well-beaten trail here, and another campsite up here by the looks of it. Going to be grabbing a bunch of pieces of small diameter wood by the looks of it. Take a bit, but beautiful creek. Don't have to worry about water. Got a modest assembly of firewood for tonight. Shelter's all set up, and today's step 2 is I'll continue drinking my orange flavored sports drink. Because camping isn't just about going into the woods for a sesh. It's about getting in touch with nature, cooking some food, hearing a babbling creek right beside you while you drift off to sleep. And that'll be the plan tonight. Got extra rocks around the sides of the shelter, so it shouldn't be blown away anywhere. And gonna get a fire going. I like to ration the wood as much as possible. Start it like a little bit later in the evening, because if I run out of wood, it's gonna be a cold night. One of these cleaning supply things I brought with me, to give some nice ambience and to get a nice smell in the air is this Lakeside Forest scented candle. It's a 3-wicker, so you know they mean business. Ah, nature. There's a million ways to start a fire with cleaning supplies. Half the stuff under the sink is going to work. But today, for safety's sake, I'm choosing hand sanitizer. It's the same basic stuff as that gel fire starter, and I'm going to be a little bit generous with it because the days of rationing this stuff are thankfully gone. And what we're going to do, start that up, is steel wool. Has to be the actual steel wool, not the stuff that has soap in it, and a battery. So this should work. Like a dream. Woo! Crackling already. That's what I like. See, I can start 10 more fires with this thing. Easy. 12 pack, 11 more fires. Excellent.
Thanks for coming in. We are huge fans.
So what did you think of the script?
Okay.
Great. Just give us a bite and smile and we're done.
Oh my.
Stop advertising your servers to archaeologists on site surveys. Start marketing to the right people by targeting industries and functions on LinkedIn ads.
Look next time. Helios UV Pro Sport. Feel the heat, not the burn.
I'm doing a 2-course meal tonight. I'm going to use this stainless steel waste bin and this pot, fits right in there, to cook a little soup. I was thinking a cool evening like this, I should have soup. But a soup is hardly a meal. It's like an appetizer. So, hot dogs. Well, I'm going to need a hot dog stick, so I got a fly swatter. It's a little metal part here, and I should be able to rip off the swatting part. I'll probably even put this right back on after. And yeah, a little stick to cook hot dogs on. Because every time I'm camping, no matter what meal I bring, I'm always craving some hot dogs. I'm gonna get the soup kind of started because that can be cooked and then just sit around festering while I eat hot dogs. But and I'll see if this waste bin holds together. There's one seam on it that could prove a little tricky, but we'll keep it a reasonable little fire in this one because it's all we got to cook the soup with. Just some chicken noodle soup, one of these package mix things, but I'm gonna add in some real veggies and some real chicken, kind of real chicken, and just saute these veggies in there with a little bit of butter / olive oil and sea salt. The ring came off my pudding can. What could go wrong? All right, all right. So that's something to watch out for. On the list of surprises, that's not one I was expecting. If you put the pot right in, it creates an explosive flame situation when you pull it out. So, oh my. Okay, lesson learned on that little thing. I'm just going to kind of do it like this. And when that gets down to some coals, then I'll put the soup on to kind of cook it and keep warm. But with active open flame, that is a bad and dangerous situation. But it's holding together so far. It's not falling apart. The soup cooked up really good, just keeping it warm there, and time for a couple of hot dogs. And for the record, this is a brand new fly swatter. It's not a used one. I guess, if you put it in the fire, you cook off anything that was on it anyways. So it's a good handy little tool. When they used to make those antennas on cars, you could unscrew them, the metal ones. Those used to be a good one too. Freshest buns I could find today aren't my favorites, but that's okay. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Nova Scotia. I mentioned in one video that we decided that we're keeping my mom's house in the family. So I went out there to get it ready for winter. And my mom was an amazing woman, but she was not in home improvement. So in order to get the place all insulated, get the furnace up to speed, make sure that there's not going to be any problems when it gets down to minus 20 this winter. It took a little bit of time to get that sorted out. And I became kind of the contractor guy, just driving around, picking stuff up, placing orders, picking stuff out, which I'm not good at anyways. So now I got some time to breathe and relax. Now we're camping. All right. This smells amazing. And it is. Wow. Those little soup boxes, those soup packages, it doesn't take a lot of fixing up to really make them pretty decent. Looks like it's going to be soup for breakfast, but look at this hearty, delicious soup. The wind's really picked up too, so I'm going to let the fire burn down. Keep a close eye on it too, because there's some dry leaves, etc. But oh wow. So you're going to see this smoke has been doing this all evening while I've been sitting here. We'll just give it a sec, it'll move. But overall, this thing worked amazing aside from not having air holes. If it had the air holes on it, it'd be really good. The seams held up good, bottom's good, and surprise, surprise, a cheap stainless steel thing actually worked pretty good. And the tent is holding up. This little stool I've been sitting on, not so good. So these little trash bins, they're best used probably for just trash. And it's all worked pretty good here. I think the star of the show is these little hot dog roasters. These guys really did the job very wonderfully. And I'm gonna start getting ready for bed. I'm not really tired yet, but the smoke is just getting to me. Little sleeping bag, just a basic guy here on top of this little ground mat is doing surprisingly good. By the morning, probably not, but that'll work nice.
Try Crest 3D White. Finally, a daily whitening toothpaste for whiter teeth in one day.
With the power of Pauline's voice, Donkey Kong takes on all new forms. You can use incredible transformations to unleash wild abilities and experience DK like never before. Donkey Kong Bonanza, only on Nintendo Switch 2.
JD Power has ranked Nissan #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the Nissan Pathfinder, Nissan Murano, Nissan Rogue.
Now get 0% APR for 60 months on select popular models.
Got that set up, and back to Firewatch. Yeah, I got a bunch of little lights hung up in the trees, so if I need to use the restroom in the night, I can kind of get my orientation and see where I'm going. And I'm at that age where I will likely need to. Yeah, clearly using cleaning supplies for camping is really silly. Not very practical, but it can be done. And I hate seeing really expensive camping gear, because when you're camping, it should be the cheapest, most free thing you can do, just a bedroll by a fire and a can of beans. And when I see $300 jackets and $100 backpacking tarps, like, for the lightweight stuff, I know it's expensive to get the good gear, but for car camper, weekend warriors, you use just about anything. That's the way I like to do it. I'm gonna wait for this to burn down. The smoke has really been chasing me around quite a lot, and there's some dry leaves around here. So, with no further ado, I'm gonna kick back, watch this fire for a bit, crawl right in and hunker down for a good, hopefully not smoky sleep. All right, the fire has burned down a little bit, and I think just about time to crawl into my little cleaning supply shelter for the night. And there's a little bit of snow coming down. Thought it was ash at first, but there's some snow particles coming down. It's all right. My 3-season tent can do the job quite nicely. So, yeah, it feels warmer in here already. And we will see you guys in the morning, and unless something cool happens at night, and in which case I will have the camera ready to roll. Once you're in the sleeping bag, it warms up quite nicely. Good morning, my frosty friends. Did get a little skip of a little bit of snow last night. It was slightly below zero. This thing turned into a bit of a wind tunnel, and it could have used more tape for sure. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I've slept much worse than this. Could have used a little more paper towel in my sleeping pad here, but I'm gonna take this down. today. So I'm going to return these rocks to the stream because the fire ring has enough rocks, and want to be kind to nature. This thing should come down no problem and pack up in a second. Haha! That's quicker than your ordinary tent. There's the gloves. I could have used those. Leaving a bunch of leftover wood for the next fellows to come along. And there's people that hike this trail. I saw one last night. So that was cool. It's always embarrassing when I'm wrapped up in garbage bags with mops and stuff. But it's good to know there's people around because there is no cell service. And if I am in trouble out here, I don't have my GPS emergency beacon with me. It would be really nice to know that people occasionally come by. But I'll wrap up the rest of this and call it a trip. Unbelievable that this thing stood up to that fire for quite a while. Perfect shape. Just needs a little polishing. Could just probably return it to the store. I won't do that though. Okay, one last little check here. Now I've got everything. I'm out of here not super early, but before all the hikers start coming along the trail and shaking their heads and wondering if I'm running from the law or something. But it was a pretty successful camp. I'd say more tape on the garbage bags. The tape and those rocks for weight are doing the heavy lifting there. So that's the weak point of the link too. We're not dealing with one solid piece of garbage bag. That would be too easy. I am feeling a little free now that I'm not dealing with that house on a full-time basis in Nova Scotia right now. I'm feeling pretty good, and you're not going to believe it. In 2 days, I got my next video I'm going to be filming. But health-wise, my shoulder, see, look at this. Much better now. Still not the funnest to sleep on this side. Well, that's okay. It is getting better. I was worried about that, frozen shoulder thing. Like if you do get a rotator cuff thing, you get this frozen shoulder, which requires surgery, and it's like it sounds. So things are progressing. Get my stretches in, and yeah, I'm excited about the next few months here. I got some pretty cool, neat ideas. We are back on track. Let's let the hunkering down commence. Cheers, everybody.
Help keep your kids going with Orgain Kids nutritional shakes. Real organic nutrition with vitamins, minerals, and a fruit and veggie blend. Plus, 25% less sugar and a taste kids love. Fuel your kids' next adventure with Orgain.
Did you know weeds are 90% water? Spruce weed and grass killer cuts off their water supply, causing them to die from dehydration. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in 1 day.
Hey guys, welcome to Camping with Steve. Winter has arrived. Still, beautiful view nonetheless. Due to the temperatures, nothing I was planning was really working. So I converted the car into like more of a permanent kind of setup here. It should be cozy enough. I got stuff I can cook right in the car. And let's just go wherever the road goes. Car living at its finest. I got this little 12-volt oven, and it's popular with long-haul truckers. It cooks food really slowly, but it does cook it. So I'm going to start a meatloaf. That sounds delicious. And it'll just cook as I'm driving around. And when I stop, should be good to go. Meatloaf and some sides or something. So pick up some stuff and we'll get this food started. Got everything I need for a really basic meatloaf. I'm just going to mix it up in a bag here. Get right in the oven. Ground beef. Wrong with some panko in there. Of course, they all require ketchup. Here's one of these packages of onion soup mix. I feel foolish sitting here in the parking lot doing this, but it's normal. It's normal for my videos. We know what this is, but we're not going to try and say it. I think that should do it. I'll just mix this vigorously. I will form the meat into a loaf. Got it plugged in. Sadly, it doesn't have a light on it. And I got this from Canadian Tire. I've seen it for sale in like trucking stores for, truck stops and stuff. Sometimes they have like CB radios and stuff and a bunch of trucking gear. These are in there because they are pretty handy. I've used them before. So I'll know if it's working shortly, soon enough. But we can find somewhere to hang out, somewhere to park for the night, and somewhere hopefully with a view. Okay, they have just announced a snowfall warning. It was iffy on if it was going to happen or not, but what better way to see this than up a mountain road with no cell service? Let's go. I know of a spot. I'm hoping it's open. There's a burned out RV on the side of the road here. There's police tape on it, so they've been here. I really hope everybody was okay. Might have been their house, so it's not a good day for somebody. The way they're backed in with the snow around, it looks like they're probably living in there. Hoping for the best.
Environment Canada has issued a snowfall warning for most of the island, as well as the northern Sunshine Coast. That includes our friends in Powell River and that area. And then as we head into Wednesday, the snow will continue into the morning.
Well, trusty campground is closed, but looks like they opened up a new one, and that's unusual. They don't normally open up new campgrounds. I haven't seen a new campground in years, so this is going to be quite nice. It claims to be open, but everything seems to shut down here in the snow. Looks like they're plowing it, though, so that's a good sign for me. This is going to do just fine. Got some pretty good tires on here. They're AO2s, and I got them replaced. The other ones we had 80,000 kilometers on, which is about their warranty. I think that's 50,000 miles. First things first. All right. Since it's just me, I only have one of the seats folded down. It's one of these 60-40 split things. So it is pretty wide. It's wide enough for me. And there's some 1x6x12s, these pine boards. And I just got them shimmed up with some wooden stakes on the bottom there. And that levels it out because the back of this does have a bit of an angle to it. Got this combination lamp / wireless phone charger, so I can chuck my phone on at night, and there we go, charging like nothing. I do have my lithium battery back here, 100 amp hour, for the coffee maker, because they have these little hotel-sized ones now, and that could be good for the morning, or maybe some Baileys and coffee tonight. Now back here, I've left this seat up, and I got a little organizer here that I can store stuff in right by my head. So, car keys go in there, anything I might need right away. And I found before when I put in a big mattress back here, it was hard to, get your shoes off and get out the door. So this way I can actually take my shoes off, fall right back in here, and shut the door. These pods I got, the coffee pods, are 100% recyclable. That includes the whole thing. Lid made of paper, the rings made of coffee bean skins, hard to believe, and the filter is plant-based. So, yeah, it's highly convenient, and it's something that doesn't ruin the environment too badly. All right. Cheers and happy step 2, everybody. It's pretty good for back of the car brewed coffee and Baileys, I have to say. There's only one other person in the campground, and that's the campground host, which is nice because if it does snow out here, I don't want to be the only one out here. And I bet you they got Starlink or something out there because they seem to be really set up for the season. These are great sights. Like, if you can't be beat, I'm sure there's more mountains above those clouds there. But there's a beach down there. I don't want to go too far because I got that fire convinced to burn finally. And I don't leave them too unattended. But there's some info right there on the park. I'm going to check that out. They got a pretty standard set of rules here. And yeah, there's nothing about a fee anywhere. So I think the legend is true. There are still some free campgrounds to be found, but in the winter they look like this, and in the summer, good luck finding a spot here. I'm sure of that. Little beach here, no lifeguard on duty, not a problem. I'm not going in, obviously, and it is a reservoir, hydroelectric reservoir. So it's up and down, you can see, with the snow melt and the power demand. However, the other campground was in the spillway of an earthfill dam, and this is a seismic area. So I can understand why they shut that down. Obviously, it wouldn't be the spot I'd want to be camping. But they've, a little bit of driftwood here. I didn't see anything about using driftwood, but it might be fair game. I'm not sure. It's a little bridge over there. I'll check it out tomorrow if I can get there. I don't know if it's a road bridge or an old rail bridge or a hiking trail bridge, but it warrants some investigation. Very quaint place, very quiet, nobody here. Just the way I like it. Back of the SUV camping is the gateway camping setup. Nothing here is permanently attached. It's all just sitting in here. Nothing's screwed down. Didn't have to pull any seats out or do any actual modifications. As a matter of fact, in 15 minutes, this can all be out of here and it can be a functioning vehicle again. And I have a lot of subscribers that don't go camping, some of them anyhow. They like to see the adventures and the nature, and it's beautiful. They're curious about camping, but where do you begin, right? This is where you begin. This is stuff you probably got at home. Just fold your seats down, and worst comes to worst, if it's cold, you don't like it, you get scared. Make sure your fire's out and you haven't had any step 2s, and just drive back home again. And it's a good sense of security. Have a full tank of gas, which I do. Supplies in case you get stranded. I've got some extra canned goods, etc. that can get me through if I get snowed up here. And we'll see. No cell service, and there's that snowfall warning. I can't get the radar because there's no cell service, but listening to the radio in between shots here and trying to be as safe as possible. When it folds down here, there's a surprising amount of storage right underneath of it. And I put camp chairs, and I got my drone under there. Unfortunately, this is a no drone zone. Not a single piece of snow falling yet, but that's going to change. There was not a single forecast that showed we'd escape snow, so just a matter of how much. I gotta say, I'm really enjoying not having cell service. It's like I can feel my blood pressure drop. My phone isn't dinging. There aren't any messages. There aren't any phone calls. So it's pretty relaxing. And the lake is so still that the cars coming down the highway, their lights reflect in the water, and they're glowing like the metal on the edge of a knife.
It smells like meatloaf in here. I've had this thing plugged in to Jackery, and that looks pretty cooked. Gonna be sure with the thermometer. Where are we at? 165, 166 Fahrenheit, right in the middle of it. So, obviously, I'm not just gonna eat a pound of beef for dinner. Gotta put in some veggies. Green beans to the rescue. Just kind of cook them all there. I could cook these on the fire, but I'm really trying to do it all in the car to see how this actually might work.
Over Greater Victoria and the Fraser Valley, snow overnight and Wednesday with highs around 0.
Dinner should be ready in no time here, which is great. I've seen a few bits of snow come down, and that's to be expected. But I got through most of the evening without sitting here in the snow, so that's awesome. And finally, thankfully, the difficult holiday season has been over for me. Had that 100-day cough or whatever they call it, walking pneumonia, I don't know. But I'm feeling good. And all the distress of the holiday seasons aside, for me, 2 years running, now I can run away from my problems and go camping, which is really what I want to do.
Young time has arrived. I wasn't sure if I'd be completely living out of my car on the side of the road somewhere in town, but keeping with the spirit of the endeavor, just gonna chow down here. You know what they say, vegetables are only supposed to be the size of a deck of cards. Let's see. How did this loaf turn out? Worked out okay, but it looks a bit juicy, I can say that. My meal, my car meal. Meatloaf is not bad. Tastes like an onion bird. Meatloaf even got nice and crispy on the bottom like that. Yeah, it worked out pretty good in that food warmer. Cooked it up right to perfect temperature. I'll have leftovers in case we get snowed in here. The snowstorm didn't show up, and I can't wait around all night. So, I'm crawling to bed here. Looking pretty comfortable, pretty cozy. Just test out my theory on getting the shoes off and closing the door. It's half the battle. Phone in the receptacle here beside me. Cell phone is in. Door is closed. And yeah, I'll just crawl right in here and somehow try to film this. Put the keys in the key compartment here. It's a really nice thing to have because the amount of stuff you have in your pockets when you're doing this stuff can get lost and go missing. But all right, okay. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's looking pretty good here. Got I could charge my phone on there, and if I have my laptop set up, yeah, I can see that right from here. I don't have anything downloaded to watch on my laptop, of course, but that's all right. I will crawl into bed here and get a little more comfortable. Well, I'm tucked in pretty good. That's kind of the side compartment there with my stuff in it and my shoes and some water down there. And I fit pretty good with this setup. My feet kind of touch the back. And of course, I'm 5'11" and 3/4 inches. So I could probably push this seat up a little more and bend it forward a little bit more. But really, this is not a problem. I don't have to sleep diagonally. That's actually not an option because I'm in this tiny little half of the bed. But yeah, I'm digging this setup. This is pretty nice. I always said from the moment I had to live in my car at one point that I'd never own another vehicle I couldn't live in if I needed to. And this is fitting the bill. It just needs to be, organized like this. You could probably do a bunch more stuff with blackout curtains and stuff. So this above light I can do, that allows me to shut this guy off. And from here, right above me, I got a little light switch. So I think this is great. See you guys in the morning. Good morning. That was not much of a snowstorm. There's maybe a few centimeters up there, maybe an inch. I don't know. Definitely not snowed in. I'll get up and check it out. Nothing to pack up, which is great. Sleep was amazing. I've never slept this organized feeling in a car. Nothing was sliding around. It was pretty level. It's comfortable. I got 2 layers of 3-inch foam in here, so it's surprisingly. I can sleep on my side, no problem. This is great. And yeah, just get the day going. Okay, the half seat down setup totally wins. Just pulled over, got my shoes on, got my jacket on, keys in my pocket ready to go. Got my water. And I could just walk right out the door. Here we go. Fresh coat of snow. Got the ventilation going, just trying to get rid of this condensation. Beautiful day. We got a bridge to see if we can check out. These roads are barely passable. I'm not concerned about me, just the other drivers on the road. And yeah, maybe I'll have a coffee. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad in the daytime, I'll say that. Get things ready for transportation. I don't need anything flying around. And this isn't permanently attached. I have some double-sided tape. I probably could get it attached, but it's easier to just do this while I'm driving. It doesn't go anywhere. This doesn't roll around. It's fine. this snow's nothing because it's easy driving. But let's see if we can get that bridge because it looked interesting, and I'm curious what it is. If it's a walking bridge or an old rail bridge or a logging bridge. Let's find out. Okay, the snowplow's been working today. He's come down that far. This road that goes to the bridge, it hasn't been plowed at all. It's like that. Should I try it? Yeah, let's see what happens. Oh, there's a gate. Looks like just a short hike down here, quarter mile each way, pretty level. And I want to see the view of the reservoir from on that little trestle bridge. This has been way more than a quarter mile. You really don't want people to get here by the looks of it. The only way to that bridge is some severe pushbacking, and there's ice under all this freshly fallen snow. But I've found one of the coolest boondocking spots I've ever seen in my life. A couple of fire rings. Guessing that's why the gate's there. But yeah, people have obviously been camping here, and ta-da! All right, I got my exercise today. Now, I've never seen anything like this roll across my inbox before. Oop, that is very slippery. I gotta help out a guy in love. So, here goes. And I've got to thank the folks that have donated to the channel as well. There's going to be some belated ones here. I'm going to start with the most belated and go to the least belated because unfortunately I was down with the sickness for a bit and then had my holiday mental breakdown. So things are good now. I'm back from the gutter and excited about the future. So the snow should be gone in pretty much no time. Next week or so. And I really don't like stealth camping in the cold. I've done it. Believe me, you've seen it. And it's dangerous because you can't even carry enough gear to keep you properly warm. I'm thinking about moving out to the coast on a more permanent basis. I've been back and forth and kind of all over the country, and it's weighing on me not having a home base, you know. I have storage units, I have sea cans, I've got stuff in boxes all over the country, and I don't know. Got to a hotel because I severely need a shower. I've been driving around for a few days, living out of the back of my car kind of as I go. And that's good because there's internet here. I can get everything uploaded. And thanks for watching. I'm going to keep just driving and filming. I've got some basic stealth camping gear in my car because I only seem to use three things. The cot, that little tiny tent, and a hammock. So I've got them, little sleeping bag, and some camo netting and tarp. That's pretty much all I need for whatever I do. And I can kind of live out of the car as I'm doing this.
and get a lot more traveling done to find some spots. And thank you to everybody that's suggested spots, because I'm scrolling through those and trying to get them organized in a bit of a game plan and see which ones are going to work. So cheers, everybody. Thanks for following along. And yeah, if you lost your patience with me, I understand it. But the rest of you that are going to stick around, more adventures to come. Cheers, everybody.
One wipe cleans up to 50 feet.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Camping with Steve. We're in beautiful yet scenic Whitecourt, Alberta, and we're going to go camp behind the sign. It looks pretty good to me, fairly exposed, but when it gets dark, it should be good. A lot of traffic, so I just got to wait for things to calm down because my backpack's big and I look suspicious. Let's go. Okay. Really not much cover here at all. But I'm going to get this backpack off. Okay. So I'm just sitting here in between these two trees. It's nice and dry here, so I should be able to sleep right down here. No problems. There is visible traffic there. 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 So I'm pretty much in the only spot that I can kind of hide. I have camel netting if I need it, but the sun's on the way down, so we should be okay. The sun is shining right at me, so I've moved a little further under these spruce boughs. Leaves me a little more exposed from this side, but the sun is in their face anyways, so they shouldn't notice me here. Around here is everything a stealth camper could ever need. There's a gas station there for washrooms. There's a steakhouse across the road in case I need a second supper tonight. There is a store for step 2, and a lot of traffic. Hopefully that dies down. In about another 20 minutes, it's going to be dark enough I can wander around a little bit and show you the sights. So far, this traffic is only intensifying, just about dark enough to wander around a little bit. I'm using a 2-backpack system today. This little one that I can take with me, bring the camera gear and stuff. Then this great big monster that I always use, and that's got everything else in it. And I'll just tuck that under the tree here and nobody will see that. Let's go for a little walk. This town has a lot of industry, a lot of oil field workers, and there's many hotels here for lodging for out-of-town workers. Little do they know, they don't have to stay in those hotels. There's woods everywhere they could be camping in. It's my home tonight behind us. And first things first, I'm going to investigate that liquor store a little bit. Mission successful. Not too much, just a beer so I can have something to drink for step 2. I'm going to investigate the washrooms at this gas station and grab another little something to drink. far as gas station bathrooms, those are award worthy, I have to say. Shortage of crosswalks here, but that's okay at this hour. The traffic is dying down. Some of these other spots look okay in the dark, but in the daytime, that was a no-go. This was the only good-looking spot right in here, and it is really exposed out here. In my magic backpack today, I'm packing some stuff for a fondue, because it's easy to cook. I just need a little candle thing underneath of it. Dollar store folding tripod chair. That will come in very handy. Little stove contraption that you'll see later for cooking this fondue. Got an air mattress that'll go inside the sleeping bag. And I got this big, old, ugly, yellow sleeping bag. I turned it inside out, so it shouldn't be obvious. Okay. Takes up most of the backpack is this thing. All right. Time for step 2. No need to be stealthy with all these semis and air brakes and Jake brakes, everything else going on. Doesn't get any better than this. I think it'd be stealthier if I found something in a green can. I am literally hiding in between 2 trees right now. There's a couple off on a tangent there that block a little bit of the view, but I'm relying on these 2 trees and the darkness for my stealth tonight, and the fact that probably nobody cares. These are all hardworking, productive, valuable members of society that do a little bit more than sleep in trees when they're not supposed to. This is a way more exposed stealth camp than usual, and I have to sit pretty still in between these trees. So I've got thermal underwear on, I got thermal shirts, everything. But for a backup, I thought this might be the case. I got one of these heated vests. It takes a little rechargeable battery, and I'm trying it out. Normally, if I was active, it wouldn't be a problem, but sitting on a little stool, being perfectly still, is not copacetic with staying warm. So this should do the job. Okay, there we go. It needs heat. Stealthy as ever. This is not the controversial, much dreaded stealth test because nothing is really set up. But this is really open. This side here, got the hotels, people driving past. Sparsely spaced out trees here, right on through. This would be great in the summer if there was leaves on these, but there is not. And this is it. These are the 2 trees here I'll be camping underneath of. Around the other side, there's really not much cover. Okay. There's actually power here, but I don't want to do that. That's a full-blown law-breaking thing, theft of utilities. And I just strive for minor bylaw infractions. But yeah, this is it. This is all the cover I've got here. So I'm gonna get this fondue going. I got one of these little alcohol gel fuel things, and it burns nice and stealthily. And inside of one of these contraptions, this little folding stove thing. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to work with minimal light here, but it goes right in there. This is stealthy. In my pot here, I've got some healthy stuff to dip in this cheese fondue. I've got some veggies, a little bit of meat, and I got one of these pre-made fondue cheese packages. I could make my own, but this is way easier, so that's what I'm doing. That looks rude. Oh yeah, that looks good and melted. Fondue time by the side of the road. And fondues really require Swiss. This is mostly a Swiss-based food from Switzerland. You can really taste the Swiss. You can make whatever type of cheese fondue you want, but you gotta have that Swiss in there. So, some sourdough bread pieces. Numerous vegetables. Look at that. Cherry tomatoes. Garlic sausage. Perfect thing to be eaten by the side of the highway. Fondue, cooked up, no problem. Oh, maybe you got cauliflower. Feeling healthier already. Vitamins coursing through my veins. Soluble fiber. Antioxidants. It's getting chilly. It's really feeling it actually. And I've turned it inside out because the other side is like that. That's not good.
Gatorade Zero Powders, the #1 proven electrolyte blend. Zero sugar. Is it in you?
The #1 animated movie of all time, LiftJob, returns to theaters in English. Starring Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh.
My son must be brave.
Deja 2, students in IMAX 3D August 22nd.
Yet another toothpaste that does not whiten. Girl, this one works.
Basic toothpaste stops at the top. Crest goes deeper to dissolve the bonds that hold stains to teeth for whiter teeth in one day. Crest.
Doesn't that cloud look like a puffin?
Yeah, like our insurance mascot.
Speaking of the policy puffin, any update on our insurance claim?
Well,